I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'll begin the meeting with a moment of silence. This meeting is being recorded and televised by WHCA. I'd like a motion to approve bill and payroll warrants.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. I'd like a motion to accept correspondence in the read file.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Public forum, is there anyone here who would like to speak on a matter that's not on the agenda? Yes?
Good evening. I'm Danielle Clancy, 21 Bloss Road. I'm also Chair of the Board of Health. I just wanted to bring to your attention two events we have upcoming. One, the first one is April 27th from 10 to 2 p.m., and that is our Drug and Sharps Take Back event. This is a drive-through event. We do it twice a year. It is tremendously successful. It will be at the Whitman Police Department on Essex Street. Again, that's April 27th from 10 to 2 p.m. It's a drive-through event. People can just drive up and bring us any drugs they have. We literally will take anything. Any sharps they have, we prefer that they were in a container. We don't like loose lancets, loose needles. We do have a container if they have to come to us that way, but we prefer they are in like a dishwashing, an empty detergent container or something like that. So to tell it, we're not comparing ourselves with other towns, but our drugs go to Middleborough at the end of the day. We took in, our community at the last one in the fall, took in 5 times as much as any other community on the South Shore. So for a little community, we are just bringing in a ton of stuff, and we're so very proud of how well we're doing. And the sharps, I keep thinking, well, we must have them all by now, but we don't. They just keep coming. So we will take sharps from your pets. We will take the extra drugs you have from your pets as well. This is limited to Whitman residents. We do pay, a community fee for the disposal, so each community runs some sort of program for that. So this is limited to Whitman residents, but it is free for Whitman residents on Saturday, April 27th from 10 to 2 at the Whitman Police Department. Drive through, don't even get out of your car, roll down your window, and we'll take everything from you. We will put out posters, and there should be plenty of notice about this going around.
Great, thank you.
The second one is our rabies clinic, which is also very successful. Will be Saturday, June 22nd from 10 to 12 p.m. at the Veterans of Foreign War, the VFW on Essex Street. We are so very grateful to the VFW. We were without a place this year to hold this event, and they stepped right up and said, go ahead, use our yard for the couple hours you need. So we are so very grateful. This is Abington Animal Hospital sends their vets over. And again, it's a drive-through event. Your animal does not get out of the car. We do dogs, cats, and this year we are doing ferrets. Most people don't know ferrets are required by Massachusetts law to be vaccinated for rabies. Most people don't do it, but we're trying to encourage people to get on the boat here with the rabies for the ferrets. So we will also do ferrets. Please have them in a container or leashed. We would appreciate that. That's at the VFW on June 22nd from 10 to 12. As supply costs have gone up, so has the price of this year. It is $20 cash for Whitman residents only. $20 cash. This money goes to the vet, all of it, for his expense for the rabies vaccine. We, as far as I know, for years and years and years, even before me, we have never raised the price on this, and he has never raised the price on this for us. So it was just time, this is supply chain issues. So again, on Saturday, June 22nd from 10 to 12 at the VFW is the rabies clinic. I will send something up, if you don't mind, to remind you, to remind everybody prior to that.
Thank you.
And that's our 2 upcoming events I wanted to remind you about.
Thank you, Danielle.
Any questions?
Yes, is that both for cats and dogs or just dogs?
The rabies clinic?
Yeah.
Cats, dogs, and ferrets.
Okay.
Don't forget your ferrets.
I don't have a
Thank you
favorite.
so much, Danielle.
All right. Any
can't
questions,
stop.
let us know, and we'll be happy to answer them. Anybody has any questions about these events, you can call the Board of Health, and we'll be sure to publicize them as widely as we can.
Hey, thank you,
Thank you.
Danielle.
Have a great
Thank you.
evening.
You too. Thank you so much.
Approval of meeting minutes, open session February 6, 2024. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
And the open session on February 20th, 2024.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Chairman's report, just want to mention a couple of things. I went to the Whitman Hanson Will meeting this morning, and it was, I haven't been for a couple of sessions. I used to go all the time, but I went this morning with my wife, and it was an enlightening experience. It was, there were 9 students there, as well as 6 or 7 counselors. Superintendent Simon Hack, he's always there. And they were talking about their recent activities and their current plans. And listening to the students talk plainly and intelligently and smoothly about their activities as far as SAT is concerned, as far as mentors for their classmates who are having issues with either substance use or anxiety, and it was just an uplifting couple of hours. And I've encouraged you all to go before at different times, and I'll encourage you to go again. The former town administrator Frank Lynham used to go regularly. There have been fire people who have gone. There have been policemen that have gone. And one of the things that I've always been proud of is the way that our school system and our fire and police have supported Whitman Hanson Will in the past. We have not had a lot of interest or support by parents. Some other towns do. We don't, and I'd like to encourage that as well. But it was I just reminded myself how important that group is and how much you learn when you go. So I would encourage you all to go. Also, what I'd like to do right now is I'd like to thank a few people. I'd like to thank John Galvin and Kathy Otina and Sean Kane for keeping the possibility of an override in the public eye by publishing in the Whitman Hanson Express. And I'd also like to thank Beth Stafford, the chair of the school committee, for reminding us that the school's final assessment has not been made yet, but they will probably be making it, I think, at least according to Justin, on at their 20th meeting, their March 20th meeting, when they should be certifying their assessment numbers at that time. Good timing, because we'll be meeting with the Finance Committee in a joint meeting on the 26th. So I'd just like to thank all of those people for keeping these kind of tricky budget matters on people's minds. It's important for us to be thinking about them. Budget update, do we have a budget update?
So no, I think you just covered that. It's a work in progress. Every day the town administrator is working on it, putting in long and hard hours on that. But I believe the next week will reveal some information that will be key.
Thank you. Anybody have any questions or response? Okay. First item on the agenda is the MBTA Community Zoning Amendment.
Right.
Kathy.
Yeah, so yeah, I'd like
All
to
for you.
speak with that. So we do have a member from the planning board here tonight who will, upon the recommendation of the Board of Selectmen, take that down to his meeting so that they can plan a public hearing. But what I've written up about is, after working with the Barrett Planning Group on an MBTA community zoning amendment, the planning board put forth a proposed zoning amendment to be voted upon by the Board of Selectmen tonight in order for the planning board to schedule a public hearing. Nancy Campany of Murphy, Lemire and Murphy has not completed her review of the proposed zoning amendment, as she's been recovering from a medical procedure. However, she expects to have her review finalized prior to the public hearing, which the planning board plans to schedule on April 8th. town council did suggest that the Board of Selectmen recommend putting this forth to the planning board pending the final review of town council. So the Board of Selectmen can expect that this would be an agenda item back on April 9th, if we're tentatively going to meet. That would be after the April 8th public hearing proposed by the planning board. It's a tight schedule of, publications have to be made in the newspaper. It's really tight deadline, which is why we're hoping the board will consider it tonight.
Okay. Someone like to motion to pass on the draft proposed MBTA community zoning amendments?
Go ahead. Right, I'll make that motion, absolutely.
Somebody second it?
I'll second.
Second.
Take it.
And what we're doing is we're passing on the draft to the planning board, and they're pending review by our council.
Right, as long as that review is thoroughly conducted before the public hearing, we're
Right.
fine. But just for expediency, they suggested that you pass it along. That way, the notices can be published and the timeline can be adhered to.
On the public meeting, I probably suggest that we have it in the main hall. It may be crowded, and down in the lower town hall may not be large enough. So it might be something you may want to consider.
I assumed as such, yeah.
Yeah,
I think that would be at least moderately attended. I think that's a good idea.
right.
Any other responses? All those in favor?
Aye.
Good. Next item on the agenda is to act to renew the taxi livery license and taxi livery driver certificates for the period April 1st, 2024 through March 31st, 2025 for the following, subject to receipt of all required paperwork and license fees. Eric Young, doing business as Sleipnir Transportation at 8 Danica Drive. Edward Gurgis, doing business as Faro Limo Services, 15 Hilltop Road. And Marie Fries, doing business as All Star Transports, 56 Vincent Street. Is there a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Are there any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Act on the resignation of Ann Holbrook from the position of Member Historical Commission effective January 31st, 2024. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a
Second.
second? Any questions, discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Act to appoint Mary Joyce to the position of Member Historical Commission for the remainder of a 3-year term through June 30th, 2025, in order to fill an existing vacancy.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. All those in favor? Aye. Act to rescind the appointment of Mary Joyce from the position of Associate Member Historical Commission, effective immediately.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
The next item on the agenda says to open and close a special town meeting warrant. We're passing over. That was actually a mistake to put on the agenda. And the next item is the town administrator's report with respect to the 150th anniversary celebration.
Yes, so Mary Beth Carter has asked that I make the town aware that we will be celebrating its 150th anniversary in the year 2025. Mary Beth has spoken with Richard Rosen, who organized the last anniversary celebration back in 2000. That was the 125th. Mr. Rosen expressed an interest in organizing the 150th anniversary celebration, and he has already contacted several of the people who were involved in the last town anniversary celebration. He already has several great ideas for this upcoming event, and Mary Beth just wanted to thank Mr. Rosen for offering to organize this very important celebration. We know that there are countless hours of work and planning that goes into making an event so successful. So she'd just like to thank Mr. Rosen and cheer on the event.
Absolutely.
Anyone have any comments, suggestions?
Yes, Richard had, and his crew did the Winterfest for like 20 years. He's the perfect person
Yes.
to be doing this.
Yeah.
He has all the connections and the volunteers, and I think it would be a great event.
Yes. I'm
Great.
excited.
Okay. We need to go into an executive session pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 21, Exemption A2, to conduct strategy sessions and preparations for negotiations with non-union personnel, or to conduct collective bargaining sessions or contract negotiations with non-union personnel, being the fire chief. So it will be an executive session that will include Chief Clancy and the board.
After the rest,
And that sort of clears the room. We'll come back in open session only to adjourn. We have a vote to go into executive session?
so moved.
Second. Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Please
Yes.
vote.
Yes, okay.
These two, do you have to report them?